Hey guys, Bubba here at the Bubbanews, all in one word, all in one news. Tonight, we're going to go right into the Red Heifer update. That was a big talking thing today, and we're going to talk about that. We're even going to show some videos and give some time frames. Yeah, this could be a fun one, but I'll try to keep it short, and I'll still do some news there with the Middle East, with Israel, Netanyahu, Syria, that kind of stuff. But this one's going to be fun with the heifer update. The Red Heifer update. All the people of the world, you know what I mean? I mean, it's starting to get exciting, and yeah, this is gonna get crazy town as we get closer to the end. But we're gonna start here with Psalm 23 verse 4. I love the Psalm 23. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Jesus guiding us, directing us, and protecting us is not a curse. It's a comfort. It's a big comfort. Oh man, we're just getting so close. But you know what? Even with all the two-state solution talk and all this stuff, so they can even have this peace in the Middle East. Well, Macron of France, he today called for a ceasefire in Gaza during his UK Parliament address. So the two-state solution is still alive and well. And he urged an unconditional ceasefire and said that only the two-state solution will ensure peace.
Together, we've called for a ceasefire in Gaza. It is a matter of absolute urgency to end the suffering of the hostages and of the Gazans. A war without end and without a strategic objective poses a huge threat to the region and our collective security. Today, a dehumanization is occurring there that can never be justified. Together, we are aware that a political way out is crucial, and I believe in the future of the two-state solution as a basis for a regional security architecture, which will enable Israel to live in peace and security alongside its neighbors. But I want to be clear. Calling today for a ceasefire in Gaza without any condition is just telling to the rest of the world that for us as Europeans there is no double standard. And as we are attached to human lives, as we are attached to territorial integrity, we want a ceasefire. No discussion. And today, working together in order to recognize the state of Palestine and to initiate this political momentum is the only path to peace.
They love what he says. An independent Palestinian state is the only path to peace. And he says a ceasefire without any conditions and a two-state solution is what's needed, because Macron warned that a war without end threatens regional and global security and stressed the need for a two-state solution and the recognition of the state of Palestine. So they're still all about all this peace and security. And with all the peace and security talk, now we're going to talk about the Red Heifer. It literally came to life in a recent rehearsal ceremony. They have 2 qualified red heifers left, with one of the red heifers being considered perfect and ready to go this year in 2025. Check out this video. This is nuts. They published the article today, but this happened sometime last week as the sacrifice was one of the red heifers was disqualified for having the black hairs. So one of the heifers that was disqualified for having the black hairs was used. It was used as a practice burning ceremony for the priests. And they're talking about the sacrifice, the actual sacrifice, since this was a practice run, could be coming up on Sunday, August 3rd. They're talking about that right now with TISHA B AV. And that's a Jewish holiday. And the Jews, they mourn during TISHA B AV. They're around August 3rd because the first and second temples were destroyed. Well, what if they do this official heifer burning ceremony on August 3rd on their TISHA B AV day, showcasing taking that day of mourning and turning it into a day of celebration? Because they know that once they get these red heifer ashes going, This is going to pave the way for the third Jewish temple to be built on the Temple Mount. So this is why this is all big talk. And if it doesn't happen August 3rd, they're talking that it could then happen during the Feast of Tabernacles, SUKKOT. And those dates are October 6th through the 13th. But right now it looks like they really want to get this going, because this one right here is qualified to be the first sacrifice for the rebuilt temple. And this is from a YouTube video. I don't want to share it, get myself in trouble and whatnot, but it's called The Third Temple Update, Perfect Red Heifer Approved, First Stone to be Laid Soon. It's a good video, and well, no, we shouldn't show it. I don't want to, but you know what? I'll post it in the description box below. And we're going to finish up with the red heifer, and we're going to come back to him here in a second. But, well, her, I guess, heifer, I don't know. Anywho, let's keep going. But you know what? Israel and Syria, they're talking about a peace agreement coming. So apparently the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, he's going to meet with the new Syrian president, al-Shara, in D.C. ahead of the United Nations General Assembly meeting in September. So this is going to be the first step towards a peace and normalization agreement between the two countries. So the UAE is putting a big stake in this as well, and having the full Saudi knowledge and complete approval as well. But a major obstacle is Israel's unwillingness to withdraw its forces from the Syrian Golan Heights in the coming months. As they believe that Jolani there at the top, he's not yet established full control over all the armed factions in Syria, especially in southern Syria next to Israel's border. All right, we've got two more quick stories, and we'll get back to the red heifers here in a second. But I put this up because Netanyahu met today with Vice President J.D. Vance at the Blair House in D.C. And I put this up on Telegram as just a fun thing. But you know what? I hope Bibi survives this handshake with J.D. Vance, because we know what happened after J.D. Vance shook hands with Pope Francis. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, so we talked about it last night, how the 5 soldiers were killed in the ambush, and the 14 to 16 that were injured last night. Well, the Northern Brigade of the IDF went after these guys today. So they are actually surrounding Beit Hanun from all directions. They're going after these guys that took out their people. So they're going after this. We will continue to attack and clear the area to remove the threat to the residents of the Western Negev. Beit Hanun is a fortified area where dozens of terrorists still remain, and there are still many underground tunnels that we must demolish, they're talking about today. So Israel's going after these guys that took out their guys. And that war is going to keep heating up because we still have Netanyahu in D.C., and they're hoping to get this ceasefire plan done by Thursday. But we know now that a special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, said that the conditions are not ripe yet for him to go to Qatar to get the ceasefire plan done. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But now let's get back to the heifers, because a lot of people are talking about the age requirement for the red heifers. Well, according to the Jewish law in the Mishnah, the red heifer must meet specific criteria, including an age range, to be eligible for the purification ritual. So here's the key details. The age requirements, the minimum age is that the red heifer must be at least 2 years old. Any heifer younger than 2 is invalid. But the preferred age is typically when it's in its 3rd year, between 2 and 3 years old, as this is considered the ideal age for the ritual. And some sources like Maimonides emphasizes that the heifers should be in its prime, which aligns with that age range there in the 2 to 3. Is there an upper age limit? Apparently not. There's no strict upper age limit mentioned in the text, but the heifer must remain unblemished and never have been yoked. So the older the heifer gets is the less likely they're able to meet these criteria, as physical imperfections or accidental yoking become more likely the older they get. So practically the ritual is to be performed before the heifer becomes too old, typically before 4 to 5 years, to ensure that it remains in its prime condition. Now, the red heifer must be completely red with no more than 2 non-red hairs, unblemished, which means free of physical defects, and never yoked, means not used for labor. So these strict criteria, combined with the age requirement, make qualifying the red heifers extremely rare. We can see here in this picture how cute they are, 5 of them. So, in recent efforts by the groups like the Temple Institute, the red heifers imported to Israel in September 2022. So, they are technically coming up to that 3-year point, possibly going to the 4-year point. But they're being monitored to make sure that they meet these criteria, including reaching the minimum age of 2 years, which they all are. So, as of July 2025, today, some of the red heifers are around 3 to 4 years old, entering the ideal range for the ritual, which aligns with the rehearsal mentioned in the Israeli National News article earlier that we showed the burning red heifer. And just last month, I believe it was, Mondo Gonzalez there from Prophecy Watchers came out and gave his update. And he's right. Let's go right to it.
Sources are tight.
Let's actually turn up the volume. Sorry about that, guys. I get too excited. Let's do that one more time. Boom.
My sources are tight. They're with the people that are there. There are absolutely 2 qualified red heifers still in existence, and they're still looking to do the ceremony this year. They're absolutely
this year.
My sources
this
are
year.
tight. They're with
this
the people
year.
that are there. There are absolutely 2 qualified red heifers still in existence, and they're still looking to do the ceremony this year.
Isn't that nuts? Guys, this whole thing with the heifer update, I'm going to keep this short tonight for once. But, I apologize for this being so late, getting it uploaded. But after being with Vendog over there for 3 hours, it was a lot of fun. But you know what? I just wanted to get this red heifer update out there. Because this is getting crazy. And they still haven't done the official sacrifice. Some people are, and it's not even a sacrifice. It's a burning ceremony to get to the ashes. But they also know that this will actually lead up to the building of the third temple. Oh, and I forgot one more thing. We're going to go over here to the Temple Institute. We'll actually finish over here because this is directly from them. And check this out, because people have been asking me if we will still see this or if this will be after we depart. Well, from Moses to the second temple, there's only 9 red heifers, and the Mishnah teaches that up until the destruction of the second temple, the ashes had been prepared from a total of 9 red heifers. So they talk about how the first one was done by Moses himself, have them bring you a red heifer. The second was done by the prophet Ezra in the days of the first temple. During the entire era of the second temple, only 7 more heifers were used for the ashes. So that was enough to provide for the nation's need for purification all those years. But check this out. As we get up to the 10th heifer that they want to do the ceremony burning to get the ashes, this is going to get crazy. I'm going to bypass this because, there it is right there. Total of 9 red heifers. Check this out at the very bottom. The 10th red heifer will be prepared by the Messiah. I don't think we are, as the body of Christ, is going to see this, is my point. And if they're doing the practice run already, how close are we to departing? Seriously, guys, this is getting wild. Check this out. In recounting this historical record in his commentary to the Mishnah, the great Maimonides ends with the enigmatic statement, and the 10th red heifer will be accomplished by the King, the Messiah. May he be revealed speedily. Amen. May it be God's will. With this amazing statement, Maimonides recounts an ancient tradition that the 10th red heifer is associated with the Messianic era. The Temple Institute is asking on their webpage, does this perhaps mean that the appearance of a red heifer in these waning in times is an indication, a forerunner of the appearance of the Messiah himself, who will officiate at its preparation? So this 10th red heifer that they have ready to go, and they have one that's perfect right now, ready to go. They actually have 2, but one is perfect. And they're waiting for the Messiah to officiate and to help lead this burning ceremony of the red heifer. And if they're doing the practice run now, they're getting ready for this, the great shebang, so they can get this going, because they know that this is the next step to get them to their third temple. All right, guys, let's get this uploaded. Thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you so much for watching. For those of you new to the channel, welcome aboard. We usually get going on the Israel stuff, but this stuff right here, right now, with the red heifer update and everything that's going on with that, that's just crazy town. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you here, there, in the air. Maranatha, Jesus Christ is coming so very soon.